everybody. It's time for another end of the year camping adventure. I just got dropped off again. I am on some deep snow. We had a heck of a time trying to get him to turn around, and I got a long ways to go. So let's get on the trail and let's get going. I am so happy to see some snow. So I have my hot tent, my snowshoes. I will go over all of this when I get to camp. My headlamp is super bright right now, so I'm very thrilled. And the spiders are barking in the snow again. Let's get going. Alright, I'm calling it. This is camp. It's the campsite those that I'm not sure what the heck this is. You know, somebody built. So there's plenty of firewood around me to keep my wood stove running, but yeah, to go any further with this thing, dragging this thing over trees, kicking them under trees just to get to my campsite would not be fun. I'm already beat. I've hiked in a little way, so yeah, of course I'm exhausted, and the work hasn't even begun yet. That's the sad part. So this is home for the next 3 nights. Let's try and figure out a good spot to set my wood stove up at. Trying to find a nice flat area. Only decent flat spot I really see is all that over there. I mean, I could go over there too, but I'll do it right there on the other side of this massive tree. And I don't have any widow makers around me, any dead trees, so I should be good in high winds. This area, just today and last night, got blasted with 80 to 90 mile an hour winds. And it stopped by 3, and now it's calm as heck. So let me drop my bag, and I'm gonna take a breather for a moment, and then I'll start setting up the tent. See you at some tent action. Finally, camp is set up. I've been waiting for this day for at least a month now, and I'm finally here. I'm finally set up. I'm finally doing this. It's exciting, yeah! But the work isn't over yet. I'm just taking a breather, and then I'm gonna go find some firewood. I do have some, but that's just starter to get my fire started. To keep my fire burning, I'm gonna have to process some serious firewood, which, good thing there's a whole whatever the heck that thing is to split up and turn into firewood. So I'll probably be doing that here very soon, and then get on to getting warm again, because I'm starting to feel a chill now. It's starting to feel nice, because for a moment there I was overheating, and I even popped some layers, still burning up, pulling that sled, dragging the dragging the backpack. That's just some work. So that's why I chose this spot instead of my bushcraft camp. Might trek there tomorrow, we'll see. And tomorrow I'm gonna build the raised bed where my pad is. I'm gonna pop up a little bit so I have like a bench to sit on, and then a nice long bed to keep me off the ground. So I'm kind of really up there in the heat and everything. So that'll be tomorrow's work. I'm out here for 4 days, so I got plenty of time to do some work. All day tomorrow and all day Sunday, and then leave Monday. So there you go. There's my plans. Sticking to it. Let's start fire. Alright guys, so after about an hour worth of chopping firewood, it's 9 o'clock exactly, I'm gonna hang my watch somewhere. Yeah, I put my watch up. So, my shelter's locked down. I got a bunch of firewood. I even went out and let me show you this real quick. Gotta hold on, rotating the camera. So I went and, like I said, picked up a temperature gauge for my stove, so I could keep track of how hot the stove is actually burning itself. Right now the temperature is at 400, so I want to keep it in the orange. I don't want it in the yellow. I don't want it in. I could keep it just at the tip of the red, but I don't want to go deep in the red, or this thing would be glowing. I've never had it that hot before. The max is 1200 degrees for that temperature gauge, so it's already at 400, so I'm doing pretty good. Let's see. It's about 83. So, yeah. All my firewood. Tent's all set up. Got all my stuff. Stove's rocking away. I'm feeling nice and warm. I took my jacket off because, well, I'm not going to sit in here with the hoodie on. That's overkill, so this is camp for the next 4 days. 4 days. So excited. But you guys know. So what do I got in stored for this trip? I got plenty of stuff stored. A lot of stuff that I do want to do, so that's kind of where I'm going to be going towards. Tomorrow, like I said, I was going to build a raised bed. And then I brought some fishing gear. I was going to walk down to the river down below and actually try my hands in some ice fishing tomorrow at some point. Just to see if I could catch anything. I'm not exactly sure if I could, so I don't have the greatest luck when it comes to fishing. I've never caught anything ice fishing. Well, last year was the first year I ever even went ice fishing with some friends of mine, so that's still pretty cool. So right now, I'm just hanging out, keeping this thing rocking. I'm going to stay nice and warm. It's actually not that cold outside. Well, it probably doesn't feel that cold because of all the work I've been doing and just overheating and just a lot of work. Time to relax. All the hard work's done. That firewood should last me through the night. Like I said, it's 9 o'clock. I'm probably going to stay up for, I don't know, a couple more hours. Probably cook dinner at some point, probably within the hour. Maybe stay up till midnight, I'm not sure. Got all kinds of time on my hands. I could do whatever I want. So, oh, it's tipping in the red. It's tipping in the red, folks. Going in the red. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to get pretty hungry. I feel like food's almost in order. But I'm not sure what I want to make tonight. If I want to cook easy or just munch. I don't know. And I'm not sure how much footage I'm going to record tonight, as it is dark and it is just hard to see everything. So it really sucks, but tomorrow now, oh, come on. Oh. Wrong way. never mind. Not gonna work. I was trying to hang my headlamp up. Yeah, so I got my gloves. Pretty warm. Socks are warm. Pretty sure my watch is warm. Now it's at 124. It's really warm in here. I even open up the tent up a little. Just trying to like get some cold air in here a little. I'm literally roasting. I mean, it's nice, but it is also a little ridiculous. Oh well. Oh look, the gauge is finally simmering down. Well, if it's past 10, it is like 10:15, I believe. I'm blinded by light right now. Darn it. Yep. So, right now, I'm just kind of, hanging out. I finally got this thing regulated. Right now it is holding at 100 degrees. That's up high. The gauge is staying in the orange, right where it should be. It doesn't feel that bad in here, actually, and I feel really decent. So, this is what I wanted. So, I put my shirt back on because I went and stood outside for a while and I cooled down because, yeah, it was really hot in here the last time I talked to you guys. Too much. Oh well. It happens. Still learning with this thing. So, I've probably have only set this whole setup up less than 20 times since I've had it for 2 years. And it's just, I only take it out when it's actually cold weather, and so it varies, and sometimes I'll do other kind of cold weather camping without the hot tent and just bring normal gear. Right now I'm really enjoying this. I'm happy to be out here. I'm happy to be doing this. My throat's a little on fire. I had some jalapeno Slim Jims, like little mini ones. Oh my gosh, had a little kick to them. So, I even sealed off the bottom of the gap now, so no wind, if any. There's literally no wind out right now. It is like really nice. There's hardly any stars out because there's a full moon right now, so the forest is lit. It is lit right now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just hanging out here by myself. Tried to get my friends to go again, but no, they all bailed out. So, I was still determined to go regardless. I just wanted some people to go, so I could have traded off sled duty with some others. It would have been a lot better than me doing that all by myself. That was rough. At least it's all downhill after this. So, yeah. You know, I think this is going to be my last video. And so I say, have a good night. Or day, or I don't know why. Say that kind of stuff. I don't know what time it is where everyone's at. It could be morning time when somebody's watching this. They'll be looking at me like, what? So, yeah. See you in the morning. Bye-bye. Good morning, everyone. It is 8:15 in the morning. I've been up for like an hour doing this, actually. I go and fill up my teapot, melt some snow, and then I take it and I throw it in here, and then I'm gonna filter it out. I went and walked the river on first light, and yeah, the whole thing's completely frozen and no safe way to like really filter water. So if I walk just a little further off camp, there's some pretty good deep snow, and I'm able to take my shovel, scoop some in, fill it up, and then when my canteen gets filled, I'm going to take my water filter it out because of all the pine needles and stuff, and then I'll just fill up all my canisters like that throughout the day. And then I still got to chop firewood. So slept pretty good last night. It's pretty calm. The wind was pretty mellow, and then probably around like 2-3 o'clock in the morning it started hollering, and I realized that the stove was out, so I rolled over, grabbed some logs, tossed them in there, got the stove started up again. I closed all the vents off again. I had this thing nice and warm, and then somewhere around 6:30 in the morning, I noticed that the stove was out again, so I fired it up, and I was pretty much awake after that. I had to really go to the bathroom, so that's why I took that stroll by the river. I figure if I was already awake, I might as well have checked the river situation. So I'm not sure. Like I said, today's gonna be where I build my raised bed. I'd really like to accomplish that. And get that done and over with. So that way I have like a nice bench to sit on, and I'm not sitting cross-legged every time, or you know. Oh, and last night, right before bed, I heard something scrunching around in the snow last night. I don't know what it was, but as soon as I made some movement, it stopped. So I got out, I shined my really bright light, looked around, didn't see anything, and then I just went back to bed. Well, I'm not sure what it was, but whatever so being, it went away at one point. So let's see, it is about 52 degrees below, and then the gauge is in the orange, and I'm probably gonna end up having breakfast very soon because I'm pretty hungry and I need to eat. I figure breakfast, chop some more firewood, and then breakfast and start building the raised bed, but I also will keep boiling water as the day goes. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it right now. There you go. All right. Sorry I didn't show any footage of it, but I built myself a little raised bed. It took 6 logs going across and 2 on each side, and then I pounded in some stakes, took some cord, and then just ratcheted it together, and I just lied down on it, and oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm gonna it's like perfectly even. It is comfortable as heck. I could have just fallen asleep just lying there the way I just did. It is amazing. So really fun. It took a little bit of effort, but I went and powered through it just to get her done. Now I'm thinking about starting up the stove again, and then cooking breakfast, because I'm getting really hungry. Well, camp is, I just reorganized my whole tent. So I laid some tarps down so I could keep my boots at the entrance, and I can walk around in my socks without worrying about getting my feet dirty or wet. So it kind of got me myself a little walking area. Right now I'm gonna fire up the wood stove and start rolling on breakfast because I am hungry. Yeah. The fact that my stove went cold, I gotta restart all over again. Thick cut bacon. So what do I have stored in breakfast today? So obviously some bacon. I got some Jimmy Dean skillet sausage. Some Jimmy Dean bacon eggs that I will mix in with the skillet. And then some sausage patties. I'm gonna do like 4 strips of bacon, some skillets with the eggs, and then I was gonna do like maybe 4 of these also, so that way I can have a really big breakfast, get all re-energized, and then do what I gotta do, and just keep splitting firewood and enjoy hanging out. It's what we're out here for. Enjoying this. I gotta refuel on blood, cause I'm a vampire, and I need bacon and sausage and skillets and stuff. Alright, now time for some skillet. Oh, let's put the camera over. Splooged all over me. And then there's the bacon and cheese. Sausage! Alright, I'm calling it. She's done. It's time to turn into a fat little piggy. Oink, oink. Oink, oink. I even took one of those sausage patties. I chopped them up, threw them in here. Give it a little extra meat. That's straight rotted. Look at that. Core. Dominoes. Alright, oh, it feels nice in here. Just picked my nose. In front of the whole audience. Whoops. I think quite a few people walked by just now. So, yeah, chopped up a bunch of firewood, and now, you know, I might read a book. That'd be really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna read for a bit. What time is it? It's 1:06 by the fire. I think I'm gonna take a little nap. Pretty tired. Need to refuel my batteries. So, see you in an hour. I don't want to get up for school yet, mommy. Hey. What's up, guys? Been there long? Glorious nap. Glorious nap. I gotta tell you guys something. So, when I was taking a nap, I was lying here, and I woke up to sound of like something like bending forcefully, and then all of a sudden I heard it snap, and then I heard it crash. I think I just heard a tree crash over off in the distance. I ran out and I was like, what the heck? I had no idea. So went back to sleep. Wind's still hollering away. Oh well. Probably gonna chop some more firewood soon, so that way when lunchtime comes I can have a nice fire for lunch. I think elk burgers for lunch are in order with bacon. Yeah. Alright, let's give you a tour of my camp, which is what I'm sitting in basically. So here I am, and I'm sitting down on a nice raised bed, 6 logs across, 2 on each side. Keep everything organized. So my bed helps keep everything up. And then over there's like extra storage area, tripod, extra stovepipe that I'm not using, stove itself, and then all my firewood. So I have a tarp right there so I can put my boots on, pull my boots off, and then on this tarp right here is where I get to set my feet on, and get to just wear my socks, so that way I can at least not worry about getting my feet dirty. And then I have another tarp over there that I keep all my stuff on because the ground's still wet. So let's see, it is 3:18. Oh yeah, so I went and patched the hole outside, and I installed this log just now, ran it across, and I believe it'll keep more wind out, and it'll keep more of the heat in. But this thing's sealed pretty tight now. So this is my camp. This is alright. Now that firewood is all cut up, ready, I'm gonna show you. This is my kitchen bag. Like cool little utensils, GSI Outdoors kind of stuff. Got a yodel, some tongs, spatula, cutting board, some. It comes with all kinds of stuff. I need these though. Pretty cool. I've had it for a while. Never. It's like one of those things you got on the side, only used once, and then put it away and never touched it again. So I'm gonna have some brats, some good old brats, cheesy brats. BWR, you win. Find out. Moment of truth. Are they cooked? Yeah, this one is. And this one is. They are cooked. Well, firewood duty is done for the day. Now I'm just filtering water from all the snow I melted earlier. So I put all the snow that I melt in my teapot and my canister like I showed you, and I just fill up my water bottles. So, works pretty simple. Yeah, I got plenty of firewood to get me through the night and a portion of tomorrow, and then probably go and do it all over again. It's 5 o'clock now. Well, it's really dark out now. Just how dark is it? You really can't see anything now. So, I don't know. Has anyone ever read this book? I've read it a few times. This is my 4th time reading it. It's called The Hatchet, obviously, but it's about a 13-year-old kid named Brian who is on his way to see his dad in the Canadian wilderness, and on the way there, the plane he's in ends up crashing in the Canadian wilderness in the middle of nowhere. He is stranded there with nothing but a hatchet to help him survive until help comes, or until he figures out his own way. But it's a pretty good book. The first time I read it was middle school, and it just stuck with me after all this time. So I went and searched out like 10 years ago and went and bought this book, and I've read it, like I said, 3 times, and this is my 4th. If you haven't read it, go get it. Highly recommend it. Here, I'll even read the back of it. It says, 13-year-old Brian Robinson is on his way to visit his father when the single-engine plane in which he is flying crashes. Suddenly, Brian finds himself alone in the Canadian wilderness with nothing but a tattered windbreaker and a hatchet his mother gave him as a present, and the dreadful secret that has been tearing him apart since his parents' divorce. But now, Brian has no time for anger, self-pity, or despair. It will take all his know-how and determination and more courage than he knew he possessed to survive for 20 years. Gary Paulson. But yeah, here's the gist of it. Well, it's, this is the time when you just hang out, stoke the fire. I didn't bring any games. I'm by myself. Today in Tentopoly, where we try to camp down on as many properties as we possibly can. Sometimes camp gets tough and you gotta pull your own weight, but when you get to that spot, well, it's just worthwhile. So start snagging properties. Right now I'm snagging this. Nice little setup. Brought my MP3 player, hooked it up to my speaker, jamming out, kicking back, not doing a darn thing. Keeping it nice and warm in here. It is .88 degrees in here, and it's about almost 6:30. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and I was thinking of doing an adventure of some kind. jumping all around. Dun, dun, dun. Today on Hatchet Talk by Nick in the hot tent on New Year's weekend. He is awoken from his crash, starting to realize where he's at and what's happened, trying to figure out what he can do and how long help is away, but he's not exactly sure when they'll be. So all he can do is hope and try to figure out what to do, and starting to build a shelter and realizing the hatchet would be a useful tool when he needs to hunker down and wait for rescue. Pretty interesting so far. And the crazy part is at the end of the book they'll even tell you it's actually based off a true story. It's getting very toasty in here. Oh, a little too warm. My watch says 92 right now. If that being the cause, I'm gonna. It's going up a little bit. Well, they threw an extra log in there. Just one. Little, maybe dense one. Kicked up in no time. Just sitting here, hanging out. I mean, I read my book. I'm jamming out, listening to the wind. And the outside noises. It's past 8 though. We're gonna try and stay up till 11, but I'm not sure. I almost feel like I want to go to bed soon. Possibly. I'm gonna make a campfire tomorrow night and cook a steak over it, and then we'll probably let this thing cool down after breakfast and probably go on a little hike. Little hike. This tent is awesome. I'm so happy for it. It's really does the job well, and the stove in it really works. Sometimes it could get a little too warm in here, but you have ways to ventilate it and open the door and really let the cool air in. But otherwise, I mean, I really like it. I've only had it for a couple years. Still a great tent. The walls are always cold to touch. So it's gonna get a lot colder tonight. Last night I was down to 20, tonight is 10. And then I think they said New Year's is 5 for the low, and then tomorrow's supposed to be like a high of 20. I'm calling it. It's almost 9:30. I want to get a good night's sleep, you know? Test this whole sleep system out. So, good night. See you tomorrow. I think somebody was camping down here. Good chunk of my wall's missing.